Every Valve game, worst to best. There's no point for an intro, that's the video. Before we get in, we just need to set some ground rules. No VR games, because how am I going to get footage? YouTube? Nah, can't be bothered. Just know that I love you, Alex. No Source remakes, because they're just the same games, even though just imagine Half-Life Source is at the bottom of the list. No games made by other developers can be on the list, and that includes the Gearbox spin-offs. Spin-offs in generals, like the numerous Counter-Strikes or Half-Life Decay on the PS2 won't be on the list as well. We have 17 games to go through, so here's the title card. Also, this is my personal opinion, so don't go mental if I put Deathmatch Classic over Ricochet. Talking about that. Ricochet is special in a way that no one plays it. All the servers are empty. Whenever you log on, you instantly log off because you realise there's nothing to do. The game is 17 megabytes for Christ's sake. The only reason I presume people own this game is because of the Valve Complete Pack on Steam, and even the reviews prove my point. Looking at the gameplay of this game from YouTube, I don't even know what the premise of it. You're just meant to jump and shoot in some Tron copy. None of your friends are playing? Good! Artifact is the game we needed, but not what we wanted. After 6 years without a single peep of a new release, a surprise announcement during a Dota 2 tournament, and Valve fans were shitting themselves.
Do this, I have a special announcement to make. Now, it's not Half-Life 3, for what it's worth, but Valve has a new game coming soon.
Half-Life 3, Portal 3, a brand new IP to revolutionize the gaming industry? No, just a card game. Okay, I appreciate the game and the effort Valve put in considering the massive gap between games, but no one really wanted this. I know there's a big Dota community with about 1 million active players every day, but I believe Artifact is Valve's response to the popularity of Hearthstone. I just looked at Artifact's average players and holy shit. In the last 30 days, as I'm recording this, the average plays for Artifact has been 35, and compared to a game like CSGO with under 1 million, that is tiny. The massive drop-off from its release going from 11,000 in December 2018 to 2,000 the next month is just sad, and I wish Valve tried something better. Can we just have it one more time, because the groans say it all. Here is where people will start disagreeing. Day of defeat. Oh wait, sorry. Okay, I'm bad at this game, but that's not the reason I don't really like this game. I just don't like it. Apart from Great Britain being in the game and the classic gold source combat, this game just isn't really enjoyable, for me at least, and thank God it's still active. You know it's embarrassing for a game company when a game from 2003 has a more active player base than your highly anticipated 2018 release based off a highly popular multiplayer esports activity. But you know, I get why people like this. The World War II realism experience, the casual gameplay, non-RNG gameplay, active servers, but this just isn't really my thing. It feels weird to play Team Fortress Classic after knowing the sequel's more fleshed out cartoony art style. The game is surprisingly still active compared to its more popular counterpart. Well, I mean, the classes are still the same, and the one server I played was quite fun, even though I am horrible at gold source combat, as you've probably picked up already. And while I was playing, randomly the Pokemon theme started playing as well. Yeah, I don't get this either. But you know, I see what the original game was going for, a legitimate Team Fortress, but I just feel it's another of the same like all the other multiplayer Valve games released around this time. But I'm just glad it's held up. Also, I believe we're getting into the really good Valve games now, so let's go on with number 13. I played Deathmatch Classic, a relatively unknown game, and I actually liked it. Whoa, okay, put down your pitchforks. This game, while I only played about 15 minutes, hooked me, and I actually had an enjoyable time with its variety and general goal source action. But the funny thing is, it is more dead than Artifact. In fact, it has had 4 average players in the last 30 days. And its peak of all time is 620 players, and the peak was after a group of people called for it to be revived. I actually found some people online, and while I am terrible at it, I'm proud of this. I'm not the biggest fan of Dota 2, and it's just because it's not my game.
Well, why did you put number 12 above the game you actually enjoy?
The whole reason I'm putting it here is because, for one, I'm actually going to go off what other people think. Battle Arena games aren't my cup of tea, but I played the tutorial and I didn't really enjoy it. With 119 heroes more added, the variety seems complicated for beginners, and I see why. There are literally scales to rate simple versus complex on the hero screen. However, on the other hand, I watched videos and I realised that the esports scene is incredible, and it seems like Valve's priority at the moment, and it's demonstrated by the 500,000 average players, and I don't see the game ever dying even though Artifact's released. Wait, an anime? Netflix? Wait, I gotta look it up to see if it's real. It's actually real! The original Counter-Strike was originally going to be low on this list because it offended me that it had terrorists. But if I'm being completely honest, this game grew on me. As you can tell by this placement alone, number 11, Global Offensive is higher because the Source engine and just a better game. What? Do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see? But I think the original also stands out. At first I kind of fell out the game, and halfway through something clicked and I started enjoying it. The kills I got felt satisfying, the deaths felt enjoyable, and just the graphical differences between this 2000 release and Go are incredibly large. I don't think this game should ever die. In fact, it still gets about 20k players a day, more than Day of Defeat. And also there's some banging tunes on this jukebox. Before I talk about Left 4 Dead, some people might be riled up how this particular game is at this point on the list. And it's not because I don't like this game, it's just that this details how many good Valve games there are. This game, set during 2020, you control either Obama, Biden, Alex Vance from Half-Life, or Roadhog from Overwatch, and the aim of the game is that you kill some lazy bones. This game is unironically fun to spend around half an hour on if you just load into quick match and spam left click so you get a seizure from the flashing lights of the firearm. And let's not even mention how chaotic this game can become if you don't keep it under control for, I don't know, about a few seconds. I believe the sequel is superior. Now, to many people, you may see Left 4 Dead 2 as basically the same game with subtle differences. Yes, you can still play as either Aisley Harriet, Jal from Skins, Anton Dubek, and Tom Holland, and yes, there are still the campaigns. But there are more game modes, like 5! And I'm just happy that the main campaigns, especially the one I played, had a more fleshed out storyline.
Rochelle, I love you.
Why is that a feature? And what the fuck is that? But also, I'm glad that Valve still pays attention to this game with the recently added community-made content update. The Germans finally got their hands on the proper game with all the gore, e.g. what makes Left 4 Dead only about a month ago. I see episode 1 as a filler episode in the trilogy. Well, yes, it's a Half-Life game, so it's incredible. It just doesn't match up to the main game and episode 2, which are higher on this list. But this game is way shorter, about 4 hours compared to about 12 hours on the other games, especially Half-Life 2. When you blast your way through the Citadel with the powered up gravity gun, just makes for unironic fun gameplay. I think the use of tactics rather than run and gun just really shine here. And the time you spend bonding with Alex just makes this expansion feel more personal. But I think the only bad part of the game is the last chapter with the laborious escorting task followed by the Strider attack that rips you apart in seconds. Let's be honest, we all have a love and hate relationship with CSGO. You load up into a match after about 10 minutes and... yeah! Come on, boys, we can do it! Woo! And then... fuck! Shit! Twat! Yeah, with all of its bugs and imperfections, we still love this game. This review I found pretty much sums up all of my feelings.
What can you say about Counter-Strike Global Offensive? It's everything you could ever want from a first-person shooter. You can play it like a no-life gremlin, but you can also boot it up and just fuck around with the lads and dads without worrying too much about strategic play. It's a very fun esport to watch if you're into that sort of thing. My CSGO phase is done, but I will always remember having fond memories of rushing B sneaky beaky like easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Team Fortress 2 is the definition of casual FPS. Just load it in for a bit, running around with the scattergun or slowly sputtering bullets from the minigun. You can have fun even if you die. Hey, let's go, I'm dead! Woo! It's a perfect game apart from bugs and the major content update that hasn't happened apart from seasonal events in years. All the classes are iconic and the Meet the videos are incredibly well known for being the best, most entertaining pieces of promo video in video game history.
Oh my god, who touched Sasha? Alright.
The art style just makes this game unique compared to Valve's other shooter CSGO. And it's completely different to Team Fortress Classic. The only thing is that it's better you get a premium account just to avoid cheaters, but the only disadvantage is that you need to be actually quite skilled or else you'll have a very negative time playing this game. Right, here we go. Episode 2 is the best episode in the tier. Yeah, I'm just gonna cry now. Well, the game was around the same length as episode 1, the game was a lot higher quality. With the new Hunter enemy, Magnuson device and Cash Ridder, the game made you explore life under the Combine outside of City 17. The Vortigaunts from previous games are an integral part of this by being by your side for almost the entirety of the first half. And also I believe this game is superior in the soundtrack. Check out Vortal Combat from the Outline Attack. Spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1. The cliffhanger of Eli dying ticks me off so bad because there just isn't a next chapter to it as episode 3 doesn't exist. And the G-Man monologue is one of the most iconic moments of this series because it just provides such a mysterious tension that wasn't resolved until nearly a decade later. Take this with a grain of salt, but Portal revolutionized gaming. Being a completely new game in the orange box, people didn't really know what to expect from a new IP by Valve after the perfect few games they had produced. Well, I can say they were blown away. From this game on, puzzle games would change forever. The portal gun, GLaDOS, the companion cube, the cake is a lie. are all iconic staples of the industry. I even have some prints of this game from Etsy on my wall, and Still Alive is an iconic soundtrack.
I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now.
Half-Life is the game that started Valve. Originally set to be released in 1997, looking like this. Valve said fuck that and redeveloped the entire game in a year to make this. Yes, it's flawed, but it's a classic. You can't help but love the Gold Source combat, revolutionary yet brainless AI, and genre-changing enemies, weapons, and storyline. Was there a science-based FPS on the market at the time? No! Only letdown is yes, On the Rails sucks, and yes, surface tension is way too long. But does that ruin the game as a whole? No! I mean, the voice acting, come on.
For God's sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us! It's our only way out! Oh my God, we're doomed!
Portal 2 is what the original game tried to be, but somehow it became a much better sequel to what everyone expected. A much longer game than the original, and much more story based and completely focused on puzzles. Starting off with the dilapidated chambers, followed by the ruins of unseen chambers, behind the scenes of the facility detailing... Oh yeah, GLaDOS is back. Meet Wheatley, this ball. He's your companion throughout this entire game and eventually gets power hungry, sending you and GLaDOS to the old 1960s Aperture jail-filled testing areas for $60, which I could buy like 4 Goblin CDs with that.
I made that video. Go watch it.
After you get back to the surface, after...
I'm a potato.
Wheatley puts you onto some tests until he tries to kill you, and you're like...
Nah.
So you run off, avoiding his traps, and you kill him like you did with GLaDOS, and another song is played, which is proper good.
Goodbye, my only friend. Oh, did you think I meant you? That would be funny if it weren't so sad.
Where do I begin with Half-Life 2? Yeah, when you see the comments saying that the sequel was always worse than the original, well, I think they might need to change that. Being the first Source game apart from... I was blown away on my first playthrough. The Threatening Combine and the Overwatch, no, not that one, are the common enemies throughout the game, with Dr. Breen being the leader of all this, but at least he does make some cracking water. I'm going to quickly highlight why I love this game and many other Valve games, and that is the detail put into them. Just after Chapter 7 and into Chapter 8, you encounter this house on the coast. You could easily drive past this and carry on with the game, but if you park the car and kill the 2 Combine officers, there is a blown out entrance in the back. When you go in past the broken furniture on the top floor, stop doing that! On the top floor you see a dead body, and in the garden 3 charred others. It suggests, with the boarded up door, this place was a hideaway for the resistance against the Combine, and it shows that no matter how hard you try to hide, you will not succeed. It's amazing the detail put into this incredible project, and that was every Valve game, worst to best. This is going to be a bit rambly, but I want to say if you stick to the end or you're currently in the premiere, thank you so much. It means the world that you paid attention to me for that long. It's finally done, and I promise the next video won't take 2 months, and I'll be sure it won't be out before 2023. See ya. Goodbye.
Oh, and before I forget, I think you dropped this back in Black Mesa.